Hi everyone, Matthew here at WeatherWatch with a look at the week ahead weather, obviously Monday the 13th through to Friday the 17th of March. And the rather changeable and typical March conditions will continue through the course of the coming week. Not a washout by any means. There will be some drier and brighter intervals at times, especially earlier in the week when just some patchy and nuisance value amounts of rain are expected, but then potentially with perhaps more in the way of significant rain later on in the week. Satellite imagery showing weather systems trying to move in from the west at the moment, and again just highlights and reinforces this changeable period of weather through the course of the coming week. So through the rest of Monday, and there has been a little bit of patchy light rain and drizzle just moving south and eastwards across some southern and eastern areas first thing today, but otherwise the rest of Monday a reasonable day, some brighter sunny spells especially across more central and eastern areas of the country as the day progresses, and with quite a mild air mass in place with southwesterly winds moving over the top of this area of high pressure, then it will feel pleasant enough through the rest of the day, again particularly in any brighter weather further east. But as further west, this weather system will move in to bring somewhat cloudier and damp weather towards the end of the day and then particularly overnight. So we move into Tuesday, and Tuesday overall will be a cloudier day across the country. Weak weather fronts, as indicated by this weather front here. You can see how it's broken and essentially just highlights a relatively weak area of weather due to this region of high pressure, which is still dominant just to the south of the country. So yes, there will be some patchy light rain and drizzle moving southwards through the course of the day, but again nothing more than nuisance value, and in between there will be some drier and brighter intervals and variable amounts of cloud as well. Probably perhaps most of the patchy light rain and drizzle being across some northern and western areas first thing, and then potentially across more southern and eastern areas through the course of the afternoon, whereas further north and west it may well just generally become somewhat drier and brighter here. But otherwise a rather cloudy and damp day again, but still with some drier and brighter intervals. We move into Wednesday, and it is a similar kind of scenario through the course of the day. High pressure remains influential just to the south and southeast of the country, and essentially it will also remain mild, if not very mild, due to southwesterly winds. There will be a lot of fine and dry weather through the course of the day, some variable amounts of cloud as a result, some drier and brighter intervals certainly possible, especially across southern and eastern areas. The further north and west you are, then cloud potentially thicker at times through the course of the day, perhaps just about thick enough for some patchy light rain or drizzle, but emphasis is on another relatively dry day on Wednesday, with again some brighter sunny intervals in places despite variable amounts of cloud, and it will also be again another mild, if not very mild day for the middle of March. And we move into Thursday with then potentially more unsettled conditions arriving from the west. A little bit of uncertainty over the details for the end of the week, but as ever these will be addressed in the midweek update on Wednesday. So Thursday potentially starting quite dry across most areas, but this weather front then moving in from the west or northwest. So essentially again dry start on Thursday, but a progression towards a greater risk of rain and showers into northern and western areas through the course of Thursday morning, and then these showery conditions perhaps spilling further south and east. And at the moment in time we end the working week with generally more unsettled conditions then returning across the country, with perhaps a greater risk of more widespread moderate or locally heavy rain on Friday, when it also may well be quite windy as well. So essentially a reasonable start to the working week, especially up to Wednesday, but then overall the second half of the week, particularly Thursday and then into Friday, generally becoming more unsettled. So let's take a look at the temperatures now through the course of the coming week, and as indicated it will be mild if not very mild, especially in any brighter weather through the first half of the week before temperatures do drop away later on in the week. But through the rest of Monday, temperatures widely 11, 12, 13, perhaps even 14 degrees this afternoon in some of the brighter conditions across the south and east. Temperatures dropping away, not particularly low at all tonight, 7 or 8 degrees as a minimum. Through into Tuesday, and again another mild day, temperatures comfortably widely in double figures, perhaps again locally 11, 12 or 13 degrees Celsius, perhaps even 14 again across some southern and southeastern areas of the country, as you can see, which is certainly on the high side or above average for the middle of March. Generally these temperatures are more likely late March into early April. We move towards Wednesday, and again another relatively mild night on Wednesday into Thursday, little if no risk of any frost. Temperatures on Wednesday, again, generally above average, as you can see, through the course of the afternoon in association with still mild southwesterly winds. Temperatures widely 11, 12 or 13 degrees Celsius. However, watch what happens now through the course of late Wednesday and through into Thursday, and temperatures then do begin to drop away, and it will be a somewhat cooler, if not colder, end to the week, especially compared with Monday to Wednesday. So at the moment, Maximum temperatures on Thursday, as you can see, just 6 to 9 degrees Celsius, which is certainly a drop of 4, 5 or 6 degrees than compared with the maximum temperatures of potentially 12, 13 or 14 earlier in the week. Thursday night through into Friday, perhaps a locally chilly night, down to 4 or 5 degrees, and then temperatures to end the week at the moment, perhaps recovering a little bit, but there is some uncertainty over this, again primarily due to the development of more unsettled conditions, but otherwise quite a cool end to the week is expected. So let's summarise that in our weekly weather summary now. Monday the 13th to Wednesday the 15th, so essentially the first half of the week. Yes, there will be some patchy light rain and drizzle at times moving southeastwards, but otherwise there will be a lot of dry weather with some brighter sunny intervals, but equally it will be rather cloudy too, especially in the north and west. However, it will be mild, if not very mild, with temperatures certainly above average for the middle of March. We get towards Thursday and then a potential progression towards more unsettled conditions, more substantial unsettled weather, with outbreaks of rain and showers across the north and west, moving southeastwards through the day, and this will be accompanied by a drop in temperatures as well, becoming cooler if not colder across most areas through Thursday. And at the moment in time, it will be an unsettled end to the week, with showers or longer spells of rain moving across many areas, potentially quite windy too, and overall it will remain cooler, especially than when compared with earlier in the week. So that's all the details for the week ahead. As ever, I'll be back with you on Wednesday just to iron out some of those details and uncertainties for the second half of the week, but essentially and most probably a case of make the most of any drier and brighter weather through the first half of the week, as more unsettled conditions obviously return towards Thursday and Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day.